Alright, it's been a minute since I've got on here and made a video, so figured I'm gonna give you guys a little cold start this morning. Got the new rims on, new tires. Yeah, I know she's a little dirty, but is what it is. New rims and tires got put on. Really good. Even in the rain, it's going to be a bit of a wet video, but we're going to make do. So, I'm going to let it warm up, and then I'll get back to you guys when I start driving. Now, I know it's been a minute since I've made a video, but I figured I'd hop on, give an update. So, last video I made was about my front mount intercooler install. And that went alright. You see I had a few problems with it, but everything went alright. Then after that, I did do the EQT Vortex XL Turbo. I didn't record any of that install process, but I'll explain how that went right now. So, me and my brother, we started on, I think it was a Friday night. Friday night, had work Saturday. So, Friday night we did my low pressure fuel pump. Got that changed out to EQT, just standard brushless. Not the Pro Series or anything, just standard brushless. We got that put on. And then went to work Saturday, I came back. And then I got my wiring harness unplugged out of the way. Then Sunday, well no, Saturday night, we actually started working on the car. We got the old turbo pulled off. We fought with the bottom drain line for a while. That line really did not want to come off, but we finally got it off. I cleaned everything up, put the new O-rings on that came with the turbo. Then we started reassembly. I got the new turbo put on. We hooked everything up. I tried to use my arm turbo muffler delete, but didn't have the right coupler. And I took Monday off just for finishing up, just in case. So, I tried to look for a coupler, I couldn't find it. But we did drive it Monday on a stage 2 file, and it did drive alright. Some people, I swear. Well, at least he waved. At least he waved. I ain't gonna get mad at that. At least if you're gonna say you're sorry. Alright. But, yeah, so we got it all put back together. We drove it on a stage 2 tune file. It worked alright, but since I had a different fuel pump, it was throwing a code for fuel pump performance and higher RPM. And since I was also running a 5-bar sensor, and that tune couldn't have a 5-bar sensor, it didn't like it. It made it shift really soft. It wasn't hard shifts like a tune TCU will give you. So I figured that out, switched back to the standard 3-bar setup that it comes with, and it ran fine. And then I finally got my my base map for my custom tune. But when I got my EQT 5-bar kit, it only came with one sensor, even though I ordered both, which that sucked. I contacted them, they said they sent another one out. Went through FedEx, and it got lost for like 5 days from FedEx. And then it showed back up and then sat in Kansas for like 8 days until I contacted them again, and it was like, hey, there's a problem. And then I was like, there's a problem. They sent me out a whole new kit, both sensors, So I got that recently, put that on. Now I'm running the true 5-bar bass map, and it runs all right. But when I got my custom tune and I told the tuner that, hey, I only have one 5-bar, he hit me back with a 5 and a 3-bar setup, which was cool. You know, I can start running the car, we can start getting some revisions going, even though I don't have the full 5-bar. And there's a problem in the bass map where it doesn't make boost right. If I like get on it too fast, it just won't make more than like 12 psi, which I don't know what that problem is. But if I roll onto it, like get into it very slowly, get it up to about 11 psi, and then get on it the rest of the way, it runs just fine. But it's really weird. The tuner said I had a boost leak. We checked over every pipe. We even did a very sketchy thing. I had my brother sit in front of the car and I put it on launch control. So we tested if there was any boost leaks. All the pipes were fine. We even cut my cat off just to see if maybe it was a back pressure issue. It wasn't. So now I am running a catless downpipe, which that's nice. Ain't got to worry about that. But now I get a check engine light for not having a rear O2 because I just completely unplugged it. And also I have a check engine light for my intake runner flap position sensor being fucked up, even though I replaced the sensor and I still get the code for it, so I have no idea what's causing that code. And then I have an underboost code, but I'm having the same issue. But since when I had the 5 and the 3-bar setup, he gave me a revision, and that revision actually worked great, made boost like it should have. So it's definitely something in the tune. So I'm waiting on the tuner to give me another revision, so that'd be nice. And I did get to take it down to the track, and first time I made it down there, we were still having the boost issue, which that sucked, but it gave me a good baseline for what the car was running. Cop was out that door fast. But yeah, we took it down to the track. On the tune, I just tried to leave normally, tried to roll into it. I didn't get a very good time. I think I was running in the 16s. And then I came to run it back because I was like, I gotta run that back. I gotta see if I can get something better. So I get up there and I'm sitting in the staging lanes and I'm like, you know what? I got a 3-bar sensor in the car because I have the 5-bar map in. I got the 3-bar and I know it makes full boost on a stage 2 file. So I got out, I threw in the other sensor in the staging lanes and went out there, ran a pass. It was a good pass. I went out there again. This time I put it up on launch control. We launched to 5,000. It was a good hit. I think I got a 13 something, which is a decent pass. And then I was like, all right, come in the pits, let it cool down. Just gonna wait. And then they're getting ready to shut down staging, so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go run one more pass, get up there, and then I end up getting a buy run, which I ain't never gonna complain about getting a buy run. That's always fun. Gives you time to sit on the line and build up your launch control, make sure you're gonna leave good. So I got up there, built up my launch control, and I had a 3-second reaction time, but my ET was a 14.0 and a quarter mile. You do the math on that, that was like an 11.3 pass, which for running on a stage 2 file that's not accounting for your fuel pump up top is a pretty good time. And also while we were at the track, ended up meeting another guy who had a Golf R. He had a Mark 7, not a 7.5, but still, it's very close because we're running the same turbo, same intake. We had the same tuner, which was pretty crazy. Both running 5-bar. It was pretty crazy to see. that was time at the track though, and then I recently got the full 5 bar, got that on, still having that boost issue, so whenever Tuner gets back to me on that front, we'll have that taken care of. Also, I finally got my ARM Motorsports charge pipes, so the discharge pipe and then the throttle pipe, going from the 1.5 inch stock pipes to, I'm pretty sure it's a 2.5 inch aluminum pipe, and I'll be able to use the turbo muffler, so it's going to give some good noises. Hopefully, definitely going to give good noises, and I love turbo noises, but hopefully we can get that boost issue sorted out. And also another thing, on Cobb, your boost number, if you just do boost pressure on the Mark 7.5 Golf R, I'm not sure what other vehicles have that same problem, but just reading boost pressure reads off of your put sensor, so it'll never go into a negative. But if you change it to relative manifold pressure, it'll go into negative because now it's reading from your map sensor. Which I like having a negative number myself because it'll show me how far in vacuum I am, and I ain't got to try and figure it out. Yeah, with having your vacuum shown, you can tell how hard your turbo's working, so you can judge where you need to be and throttle a bit better. Which, that's always nice if you're trying to cruise, not really sit in boost. And I also got a Turbo Smart blow-off valve, so replace the stock diverter valve there. So now when I'm in boost and let off, I get a nice little noise. Let me see if I can kick it for you guys. Not sure how well you could hear that, but I tried. Not really too sure what's going on here, but we got a bit of traffic. But back to what I was saying though, got the Turbo Smart blow-off valve, which that gives some good noises because now there ain't the diverter valve just blowing it back into the turbo. And the Turbo Smart's really cool because it's actually an electronic one, so you don't have to run a boost tap or anything like that. You just bolt it into where your diverter valve was and then just plug in the connector. And as long as you put it in right, like the right orientation, it'll do exactly what it's supposed to and vent the atmosphere. If you really do like the diverter valve but just want a Turbo Smart, they do sell the diverter option. It's a plumb back, I think it is. It's just a diverter valve replacement. I'm not sure why you'd want to run that, but to each their own. Yes, but I did actually get my rims put on, and you see in the clip when I did the cold start, I got the rims put on, and I got some Nitto NT 555 Gen 2s on them, and it's a really good tire even when it's raining because of the way the tire's cut. I really like them. They feel good. They feel like they got good grip even through turns, which is great. And I did try to record this video on the way to work, but I didn't really like how it turned out, so I ended up scrapping it. So now we're recording it on the way home. So that's how it goes though. So the cold start clip is actually from this morning, and now it's 6:30. You'll be able to tell the time difference. I think it jumps from being like 7:50 to now like 6 when I started. Yeah, it really sucks that I'm having that boost issue because it means that when I go to get on it, I ain't got the power that it's supposed to have. Kind of sucks, but is what it is. Hopefully Tuner gets back to me soon and we can get that sorted. And I'm not too sure how well you can see it. Let me see if I can. Yeah. I'm not sure if you're like really able to see it. It might be a little fuzzy. But my windshield is actually cracked. And it goes all the way down over on the passenger side. So I might have to get my windshield replaced, which that's going to be a little hit to the pocket. But it is what it is, though. I gotta get that taken care of. And I know I do have a front assist light on. That's because I had to take the front grill off to do the front mount intercooler. So I just got to get it recalibrated. I got to look into it to see if I can do it myself. But I contacted the Volkswagen dealer out by my work. They said it's going to be like $190 for them to do it, which that won't be too bad. Especially if it's a convenience thing at that point. So, see how that goes. I'm not exactly sure why I have a tire pressure light on. The system just says it's unavailable. So, I'm going to have to get that figured out at some point. But I'm more worried about those check engine lights I got, because that's I won't be able to pass emissions with that, which that's really going to suck. This is my daily. So, I gotta be able to pass emissions. Gotta be able to get my sticker. But, at least I ain't gotta worry about a safety inspection, though. And on another front, I tried to go buy a bike yesterday. I found a gray and red 2022 BMW S1000 RR. Really nice bike. I really liked it. I tried to get it. I got denied, which really sucks. I guess they didn't like how much money I had down, but I really ain't got too much more to put down on a bike. You gotta kind of worry about your other payments you got, you know. I only had about $1,500 to put down. They're asking about $18,000 for it. So, I'm gonna try and finance a fair amount, but really sucked. But I'm thinking about maybe going with the ZX10 at this point and getting the intake and exhaust springs and intake and exhaust camshafts, which I think that'd be pretty cool. Get a ZX10 that's got cams and springs from factory, you know. But if I can't get approved on an $18,000 bike, I definitely ain't getting approved on a $20,000 bike. Which it's crazy, that's what the going rate for bikes is nowadays, but it is what it is. You gotta live with it, you know. And I really want a bike, especially going into summer. And before, I'd been riding my dad's bike, and before that, it was a 94 XJ600 Yamaha. That bike was fun. It was alright. It was a good bike to ride. It's just the insurance went out on it, and we couldn't really re-up the insurance on it. And then also, we didn't re-up the insurance because when I went to check the spark plugs to make sure they were good from having it sit all winter. And when I went to put one of the spark plugs back in, it wouldn't thread. It just felt like it was hitting, and you don't want to cross-thread a spark plug. That's never good. So then I ended up riding my dad's bike, which is an 05 Harley Night Train, and he wants to do an oil change on it before he wants to let me ride it again. And I mean, I get that, but at the same time, he's not being fast about the oil change. But I mean, it's his bike, so whenever he wants to do it, he wants to do it. So hopefully I get a bike to ride this year, but if not, it is what it is. I got some other stuff I gotta pay off. I'm hoping maybe I can make something out of this right here. Maybe get me a bit of extra money, hopefully. But it's not like I'm asking for anything. Just people watching would be cool. I think that's really all I gotta say for this time. might get back soon with another video. I'm not really too sure what it's gonna be, because that's what I find the hardest part about making videos, is trying to figure out what to talk about, you know, because that's about the hardest part, is figuring out what you're going to talk about. But I think that's really all I have to say now. I know this video's a bit longer than my other driving video I made, so if you made it this far, thanks for watching. See you next time.